Activist organization that encouraged game developers to denounce gamers is now begging for $80,000 to remain open. Hey, modern audience, this is a call to arms. Are you gonna pony up 80,000 to keep this, this far left targeted harassment group open? Probably not. The activist organization Take This, that has received significant funding from the United States government, is now begging its followers to give them $80,000 in order to keep its door open. I think it's only for the next month too. Yeah, that's what makes this funny. Are they gonna have to do an $80,000 fundraiser every month or something? The organization was brought to the public eye when it posted a blog post in March encouraging game developers to denounce gamers for defending themselves from Sweet Baby Inc. The organization stated, if you're reading this, you're probably been hearing about what's going on, what's now being called Gamergate 2. It's the latest targeted harassment campaign within the industry, and it's aimed at Sweet Baby Inc., a Montreal-based narrative development studio. Yeah, calling out their bad behavior is targeted harassment. As previously covered, this is a lie. It is. The initial harassment campaign was led by Sweet Baby Inc. and its employees Chris Kindred and Maya Kramer against Brazilian gamer Brutus Rambo. That's objectively true. All he did was create a curator group that listed games that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on. And they tried to get the group shut down. They tried to get his personal Steam account shut down. There was a targeted harassment campaign, but it was by Sweet Baby Inc. against Brutus Rambo. No one's falling for their lies anymore, though. Yeah, so on a similar note, have you guys seen the drama with Star Wars Theory and Star Wars Explained recently? So Star Wars Explained tried to cancel Star Wars Theory, and it blew up in their face, and they're bleeding subscribers while Star Wars Theory's gaining them now. And now they're trying to play the victim now that their targeted harassment campaign failed. Like Clownfish said, like, it's not 2018 anymore. This shit ain't gonna work anymore. I think at this point we have enough Zoomers and Gen Alpha that have grown up with cancel culture. They know how it works, and they know not to give it any power. So these Sweet Baby Inc. employees cannot tolerate a Steam curator list and attempt to get Brutus Rambo canceled, even tried to get Valve, Steam's parent company, to effectively steal his game library. Kindred posted on Twitter, the Steam curator harassment group Sweet Baby Inc. detected, led by this person, Brutus Rambo. Here's them trying to be slick so they don't get reported. Even with the discriminatory language filed off, the group itself still fails the cock. Never mind that usually these guys spectacularly fail the cock. Next he wrote, anyway, report the fuck out of this group. Is this not launching a targeted harassment campaign? Hey, this curator made a list we don't like. Report the fuck out of them. Eventually, one of your reports will go through, and then we could be rid of them. Yeah, this is launching a targeted harassment campaign. And yet, I don't think any of these fuckers were ever punished for that. I finally came to computer and report the creator since he loves his account so much. How's that not a targeted harassment campaign? But nevertheless, despite pushing an easily refuted lie, the organization then demanded developers denounce gamers opposed to Sweet Baby Inc. and their goals of injecting the objectively evil ideology of wokeness into video games. No, this I actually think they should do. Let developers do this denouncing. It'll let us actual gamers know who not to spend money on. The organization wrote, you may be inclined to be quiet or cautious, but it's actually not helpful. It's, as noted in this resource, is empowering the game industry. A major lesson learned from Gamergate was the importance of taking a loud public stance. Now, this is objectively true. It's just, it needs to be in the other direction. When you got far left activists like Take This attacking your customers, and you do not show up and defend your customers, if you're not loud and public in your denouncing of these organizations and your support of your customers, you're going to lose customers. Take This continued. At the time, many studios were hesitant to address the hate and abuse from Gamergate in any meaningful way. That's because all the hate and abuse came from anti-Gamergate. The reasons varied, but usually this hesitation is born out of fear of losing profits or concern that taking a stance will attract the attention of the Gamergate mob. Literally describing the fear tactics that the woke use to keep everyone in line. They all they know how to do is project. It then asserted, in other words, failure to clearly and unequivocally denounce Gamergate and the harassment and abuse done in its name created a space for that hate and abuse to flourish, spread, and become normalized. Yeah, I'll take shit that never happened for 1,000, Alex. I'm still waiting for that. I'd like it if this was normalized in the game industry, because then we could finally run the tourists out. Yet the tourists are still there. No, hate, harassment, and toxic behavior have no place in games, and that's why you are going out of business. By taking direct, targeted action in a timely manner, we can mitigate further harm to talented, dedicated folks in games. The talented, dedicated folks have already been ran out of the industry, at least in the West. The East still has a bunch. And prevent additional recurrence of these harmful events, the post concluded. Yeah, just like a lot of times, they're actually right. It's just they have zero self-awareness. All of the things they said should be used when dealing with them. So less than 6 months after the post, the organization's research director, Rachel Cohort, resigned from her position. As reported by Ars Technica's Ashley Bellinger, Cohort also founded the organization after encountering a current year -5 nationally represented survey from the Defamation League. It found that nearly 1 in 4 respondents were exposed to extremist white supremacist ideology in online games. They 100%, they went out of their way to ask snowflakes. She wrote on Twitter, "I'm getting a lot of queries about this post, meaning I'm leaving games. I'm not leaving games. I just resigned from my former position. Damn." So, okay, maybe we could get her to leave games later. To no one's surprise, Cowart admitted in a game UX to current year -2 presentation, which was sponsored by Bungie, of course, that the original polling she encountered that inspired her to start the organization was completely bogus. She said in current year -5, the Defamation League reported that nearly 1 in 4, 23% of game players are exposed to white supremacist ideology in game. Oh, are you telling me the Defamation League would lie to push their agenda? Oh, say it ain't so. Man, no one saw that coming. As she continued, and honestly, someone asked me earlier how I got into this work because it seemed like a very niche area, but it was this report. And when I saw that, I thought the number was so high, it can't be that high. It can't possibly be that high. I also called Daniel Kelly, who led the research, and he was like, no, that's the number. And I was like, okay, we have to do something about that. That's terrifying. So think about this. A lot of these far left activists that are ruining gaming entered gaming in the first place on lies like this. This is why you gatekeep. In current year -3, they did another report that looked at the same thing, and they found the numbers closer to 1 in 10, but it's unclear whether this is actually a change in the landscape or differences in sampling as it was, or as it is with research sometimes, she admitted. Even 1 in 10 is way too high, but whatever. The good thing is we don't even have to argue with these idiots. Yeah, like so someone on Twitter tried to argue with me about this, and I just blocked him. Like, no need to talk to you. We're winning. Even normies don't want to buy this garbage. We don't have to have a discussion with you. We don't have to compromise. We don't have to sit down and talk with you. All we need to do is just block you and wait until you're removed. That's it. And not only did Kurt resign from her position, but the entire organization is now begging for $80,000 in order to keep it afloat. And that's just for this month. In a post on the company's site at the end of August, Dr. Rafael Bocamazzo, the organization's clinical director, wrote, "This might be the most bittersweet post I've ever written in my tenure with Take This. You may have noticed our plea for financial support earlier this year. As hard as we've worked to make up that gap, we still need significant help. Without your support, Take This and all its impactful programs will cease to exist." Oh. So we can be rid of this organization of bad actors? Well, threaten me with a good time, why don't you? After listing out what he views the organization's accomplishments, he stated, "If we don't raise $80,000 by the end of September, all of this will disappear." Sounds good to me. You better not be lying about that. We better see you gone at the end of September. Yeah, the company received a split of nearly $700,000 in grant money from the Department of Homeland Security through its Targeted Violence and Terrorism Prevention Grant Program. So they're milking the government's anti-gamer programs. DHS shared that in current year -2 over the past decade, victims have increasingly become focal points of social activity and identity creation for adolescents and young adults. Relationships made and fostered within the game ecosystem routinely cause them to agree what are impactful parts of local communities. Not wrong. Yeah, we actually covered this before. We don't need to read through all of this. Yeah, the important thing is yet another far left activist organization that's been shitting up our hobbies is on the verge of shutting down. Keep pushing. The demoralization is real. We've had multiple articles over the past few weeks about these lunatics being demoralized and asking themselves, why am I even here? Yeah, why are you even here? You clearly don't like us, and we don't like you either. Yeah, let's keep it up, man. We're going to have all these losers questioning, like, why are we even bothering to continue continuously fucking with these guys? They win every time, and we just end up feeling miserable. Yeah, they have to leave the game industry indefinitely. Agreed. Gatekeep the fuck out of these lunatics. Make new stuff and keep these fuckers out. Yeah, pretty much the entire legacy industry is lost at this point. They lost all their talented people anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal.